Australia is a land of contrasts. For many doctors in regional, rural and remote parts of the country, it is the dramatic contrast that they experience in their work and in their lives that has made the choice of practising away from the main population centres a richly rewarding one.
I did GP work in the city as a med student, and to tell the truth, it drove me nuts. So they call it working with the worried well, and I say that here you're working with the unworried unwell.
One of the things working in a regional centre is that you probably will get to know your patients a lot better, and I would say that has lots of benefits.
You get to follow people right through the continuity of care, so you might see them as a general practice patient, but then you might see them at the hospital. So that's a really nice part of working in a sort of smaller community.
It didn't take long to work out that not only was there more time for myself here than running around the city, but that I was needed and treasured far more here.
The practice that I work in is a small practice, and we all work part-time, anything from shared care right through to nursing home visits, and we do a lot of preventive care in our practice.
I think people seem to appreciate what you do a lot more, and people are more inclined to listen to what you have to say and treat you as a professional rather than just someone to come and get scripts from or get a referral from.
The life I enjoy here is far better than I had in Sydney, and living in a real community where people look you in the eye and smile at you as you pass them in the street is much better than living in the city. I've become involved in local olive agriculture as well. We've had the trees growing beautifully and producing lovely olive oil.
There's certainly opportunities to do lots of outdoor type things. I'm very big into bike riding and kayaking and canoeing and stuff like that. There's lots of social activities as well.
I think living here has given me a better work-life balance because I've been able to spend more time doing things like bringing my children to school.
Well, the lifestyle here is fantastic. We've got a really good bunch of doctors who are very dedicated and keen, but there's also enough of us that we share the on-call load to make that sustainable. So you're not getting massacred with your on-call.
In a town like this, you're going to bump into your patients sometimes down the street, and I would say that most of the time that's not a bad thing. This town's got beautiful architecture, we've got a lovely art gallery, we have a lovely little theatre where all sorts of shows come, and there's a vibrant music scene.
I've got to know everyone really well, socially as well as working with them, and I think that's easy to do in a smaller place. So you feel that support when you need it.
I'm learning so much more from other fields, and I'm teaching so much more to students and resident doctors in other fields, and so I emphasise that you never stop learning, you never stop teaching, and I'm doing things I never would have done in the city by way of the depth and the closeness of involvement with my students and my residents.
I find Broken Hill I get to work one-on-one with my seniors and get really good clinical supervision, as well as the opportunity to do a lot more than I would in a hospital where there are lots of other junior doctors and lots of people to compete with for good clinical experience in my junior years.
If I was talking to someone who was thinking about it, I would say it's definitely worthwhile. I mean, I've been here for 10 years and I'm happy. I'm not thinking about moving anywhere else, so I suppose that speaks for itself.
I think there's a country town for everybody. Some people suit a bigger place like Broken Hill where you get a chance to still live your own life, whereas there are the small, tiny country towns where you know absolutely everyone all the time.
My advice to doctors who are in a situation where they are wondering if they want to keep doing the same thing for the next 20 years, my advice would be have a look at rural Australia.
I can see myself as practising in remote areas for my entire career, really. I think it's got so much to give. You really find that the more you put in, the more you get out. You can just learn so much. You go to places feeling like you can give, and you're just constantly amazed at how much you get.